everyone, how are you all? I am doing a video today. Better close it. What's in my makeup case? And although I've kind of done a what's in my makeup bag video before, it wasn't actually my makeup bag I was showing. That was just a bag that was in my shoulder bag that had bits and bobs in. My actual makeup bag is this little bad boy. That's Glamorous Gabby, and it's by Benefit, this one. And I got this when I was 21, I think, when I went into Sephora in Paris. And that was the very, very first time I went into Sephora, and it was amazing. The only other shop I think that could get me more excited than Sephora is the Container Store, which we don't have over here, or like Staples or something. But the odd thing is, I don't really wear makeup, but when I go into Sephora, I love it because there's just so much there. I'm like, wow, all this stuff I don't need and would never use. It's amazing. So this is what it is. It's kind of a sticky kind of plastic. If I open it up, this is what it looks like. Don't want everything to tumble out. There we go. This right hand side is for brushes, but I keep my brushes in a brush thing. Does it have a name? Brush holder, I guess. It's like one of those things that you roll out and you just put your brushes in. Brush holder. Just couldn't have a different name. So I'm going to take you all through here. So the first thing is this Match Perfection 2-in-1 concealer and highlighter. And this is one of the things I wear whenever I have makeup on. And I've actually got a spare in here. Well, it's not a spare because this has almost run out. And this is full. But you can see that they've changed the branding on them. But I love that. Goes on nice and easy. My hair is everywhere today. I straightened my hair. I've not been straightening my hair. I've been going to bed with my hair like damp, and it wakes up nice and curly. It wakes up. I wake up and my hair's curly. So I kind of roll it like that and pin it to the side. But I decided to straighten it today because I forgot my brush, and my hair is literally coming out everywhere because it's not used to being straightened. Right, to the next thing. What's the next thing? The next thing is my bronzer. I was going to say blush there. This is Prestige Sunflower Illuminating Bronzing Powder in Terra, and this is the brush I use with it. This is by Eco Tools. I think this is a kabuki brush. Correct me if I am wrong. I like it because it's got like the loose bristles at the top, but then they're only sort of every now and again, and then underneath there's these little thicker bristles. I will have to do a mic brushing video very soon. But not with brushes that are covered in makeup. This is too old actually. Obviously I do use it, you can see that, but I only put about that much on. and I'm convinced none actually ever goes on my face, but it's more of like a placebo bronzer, as long as I feel like I've got some on my face. I think sometimes when I can see it on my face it ruins the effect. It's like, oh, it's too dark. But that is my bronzer. The thing I put on next is, what do I put on next? Blusher. Now, this was my old blusher. It was Staniac by Stila, and I have minimal left in here. I don't know if you can see in there. No, you can't really. That there is not how much it is. Like, there's not that much in the bottom. That is just smeared around the outside. Actually pretty empty, but I like to put this on my lips. Just to give my lips a bit of colour for maybe videos or if I'm going out or something. But because there's not much of that left, I bought a new one, which I actually showed in a whole video. And this is Yum Berry Crush. And I think when I originally bought it, there was only that much there. And now there's that much, that tiny bit there left. So still, you need to sort this out. It's very expensive however much you get. And I don't even use this every day, so if I use this every day, it would definitely run out by now. Next we have eyeliners. I've got 4 eyeliners, 2 black, 2 white. These are my black ones. This one is Exaggerate Waterproof Eye Definer, and this is like a kind of a crayon. Is it crayon? Yeah, it's kind of a crayon one. I'll show you. And the great thing about this is you don't have to sharpen it. I'm not very good at sharpening pencils, because when you sharpen it, pardon me, the wood sort of gets all raggedy, and then you put it on your eye and that's not good. But on this side you've got a rubber, I don't know what material it is, and you can smudge it. Make sure none goes on the bed. So if you don't want like harsh black lines, then you can just do that. That hasn't actually smudged very good. It usually does it better. For some reason that's just kind of staining my skin. I can assure you it doesn't normally happen. The next one is the number 7 Stay Precise Felt Tip Eyeliner. This one, I like it because it is very precise, but whenever I put it sort of on the part of my eye, it's weird because it goes on great, but then when I open my eye, the bit between my eyelashes, like where my whole eyelash line is like flesh coloured, and even when I put the crayony one on my top waterline, it's still like that. It's like I have to sort of colour in between my eyelashes. It's very annoying. My next 2 are this one, which I think I've actually shown you before in my other makeup one, and that's just a nice white that goes on, and you put that on your lower waterline, and it makes your eyes appear bigger. Hasn't done much though. Now this is a pencil one, and this is, I managed to not get it too raggedy. this one is a screwy one again, but this one isn't very good. As you can see there, it looks more silvery on my skin, but when I actually put it on my eyes, it doesn't really go on my eyes very well. Next we have my finger shadows, and that is these, and they're just my eyeshadows that I put on with my fingers every day. If I'm doing like really fancy nice makeup, I'll use my naked palettes, but for every day just nipping out the house or whatever, I will use these. Oh, tells you where I put them. The bottom one is Diamond Glow, and that one's Intense Chic. And it actually tells you, I don't know if you can focus on that, it tells you exactly where to put it. So each colour goes on a certain part of your eye, and it's the same with this one. Well, I don't do it like that, because you don't have to. So I've got a silvery white, then that's like a shimmery pink, shimmery lilac, and then that kind of looks dark, but it is like a really deep purple. And in this one we've got a really deep purple, but it's not so shimmery. Then a nice shimmery pink there, a missing one, that was like a sparkly brown colour, bronze I guess you'd call it, or sparkly brown I'd call it. That fell out a couple of days ago, but it didn't really matter because I don't use it. And then you've got a bog standard beige there, and that one usually just goes there, and then the other one I just put on my eye. Then after that we would use mascara. I used to use Max Factor, what's it called? Max Factor something mascara. Something length. Max Factor. Oh, it's gonna kill me not knowing. Anyway, there's a really popular Max Factor one that I've been using, but it dries up really quickly. And the brush is plastic, and it's one of these sort of ones where it's just got little nobules all over, and I didn't find they were long enough to coat my lashes. So I got this one, which is Lovely Lashes by Number 7 for Glossy Natural Volume. And it's got argan oil in, which everything has in these days. So it's got nice long bristles, and it's really soft as well, the brush. When I was in Boots, there was a clean brush there that you could try, and it was really soft. And as well, some mascaras, when they dry on your lashes, flake off throughout the day, whereas this doesn't. It's kind of like it's hard to describe, but it's kind of like I don't want to say rubbery, but it kind of stays on. It doesn't flake off anywhere. If I put too much mascara on for any reason, I will use that, which is just an old mascara brush, a dry one, and I will put that through my lashes to take off any excess mascara, and also to separate the lashes without putting more on. And then we have Nanoblur. Now, I kind of bought into this product. I've just adjusted my lighting a bit. So this product, Nanoblur, that I bought was it claims to be like a Photoshop for your face. And in a way it is. When you put it on, it really does sort of make your lines disappear. It is like magic. But the problem with it is it makes your skin lighter, which is really odd. Like my mum put it on the back of her hand and one hand looked really pale and the other one didn't. And also when you put it on and then take a photograph with it, it looks like you've got a white powder all over your face. It's really odd if you use the flash. And the other annoying thing is, you're meant to dab it on, but when you dab it over like concealer or foundation or whatever, it goes really blotchy, and it's kind of like if you put normal cream, you put your concealer on, and then you start rubbing cream over the top. It does that to it, and you have to put it over makeup because you can't put it under makeup because the makeup doesn't go on top. So if you're not wearing makeup, it's great, but I'm not sold by it. And I think it was quite expensive as well. So that is what was in my day-to-day makeup case. Just take this off with a wet wipe. Now in here, this is my makeup case for fancy dress or videos, but I don't really use this stuff day to day at all. But it's stuff you keep just in case you need it. So in this side we have all different sorts of eyeshadows and an eyeshadow lipstick thing. And then in this one there's mascaras, lipsticks and lip stuff and BB cream. Let's have a look. So I have a BB cream. I bought this just to try normally, and I didn't really like it. I don't know, when I put it on, it kind of made my face all the same colour, and I guess that's the idea. But I didn't like it. It looked too fake. I'm very used to wearing minimal makeup and being able to see my freckles and stuff. So I kept it because it's great for when I go out for Halloween, when I need to make my face one colour and then put more makeup on top. But I think that was actually the palest one I could get. That was light. I don't think there was one above that. Obviously the back of my hand isn't the best place to test it, but it's just... I'll show you Nanoblur if it does it now. See if we dab it in. It actually takes the makeup off your skin and mixes with it, so if you can see there, and that's my finger, but that's what it looks like on your face. And then obviously if you just rub it in, looks rubbish, looks absolutely terrible. wrists are on foam today. Shut up. No one wants to hear. Oh, this is another concealer I have. It's one of those twisty lipstick type ones, and I don't really use this. If there was like a massive boil on my face, I would probably put this on the boil to cover it up, because it covers up really well. Like, let's see, if I have that there. Wow, that's just not good example. But you see how well it covers up. But it's just too heavy to have on my face. Although I got an inbox comment a while ago telling me that I should seriously consider investing in some good concealer. Because on my face, I don't know if you notice, that light's a bit bright there, but up here I've got some pigmentation on my skin, and there in the summer my freckles come out like loads. 5 minutes in the sun and my freckles are just out, and I've got a cluster of freckles up there on my top lip. So when the sun comes out, my freckles come out, I get this little freckle tash. And it's only on one side, and I also get like areas in my head there as well. But of course, being someone who has a lot of freckles and is used to freckles, you know, having a mark there, or you know, marks on my head doesn't bother me. But this person obviously felt it was such a big deal that they needed to let me know that I should invest in some good concealer. So just so you know, I've got the concealer here, but I don't use it. In fact, that's not good concealer, it's really rubbish. Next, I have, what do we look at? Oh, the mascara I was trying to remember. False Lash Effect by Max Factor. So if you can see what I mean by it's not really a brush, it's kind of like a plastic brush, and it's very dry. I don't know why I've kept it, actually I'll have to put it in the bin. What else have I got in here? I'm going to try and go in like some sort of order. I've got 2 eyeliners. One is a big fat crayon, which is way too big. I would end up with like panda eyes if I put that on. And then this, which is Glam Eyes Professional Liquid Liner. Gotta be careful with this. And it's great when you like, you know, put it on your hand, but you try putting it on your eye, and I'm like this, and I'm trying to put it on, and oh my god, I'm terrible. Eyeliner is, I can't do it. Oh, then we have another one. Yves Saint Laurent. Don't know if you can see where it's, that one is the where it's gone all raggedy round the edges. See that? It's rough, but it's alright. Like it goes on if I get it. Okay, it's a nice black clear liner, which is why I've kept that much. Next we have a, hold on, one mascara again. This is my Glam Eyes Day to Night mascara. The reason I've got this one is because it's waterproof. So shush, forgotten. So if I ever need waterproof mascara, this is it. And I can have a choice of volume or length. So this is the volume you twist from this one. Which is way too thick for me. It just sort of piles the mascara on, which I don't like. I prefer long, thin lashes as opposed to big, fat, clumpy lashes. Or the length one. You end up with that. Oh! Not paying attention. You end up with that, and I'll show you what it looks like. If you take that out, it's like that. So obviously it just allows you to bring out more mascara. Is it raining? It's raining, folks. Sorry. I'm sorry that the weather disagrees with my filming schedule. Now, lip things. These are specifically for videos because I don't really put anything on my lips apart from that one thing I've got in there, that Staniac thing. Although I did go through using this for a while. This is Lasting Finish 1000 Kisses Transfer Proof Lip Tint and Balm. And if you just put it there, bone dry, it's excellent. Just what you need for a show and tell. So go in the bin as well. Let's just say that went on perfect there. You then take the balm and then you put the balm over. I'm doing this so cack-handed, so it kind of gives it a glossy sheen. I'm going to bin with that. Next lip item is this. Daisy Flowers like this. This is Revlon Matte Pink Pout. This was actually a lipstick I bought, seriously. Like I thought I would wear that, but I put it on and I just remembered why I don't like anything. It's not that I don't like anything on my lips because I always wear lip balm, but I can't wear colour on my lips because I'm always like touching my lips and smudging them and moving them, and I end up with like lipstick up here and stuff, and I'm not elegant enough to wear lipstick. So that is Daisy Flowers' favourite colour, Pink Pout. I've always loved the sound of lipsticks closing. Then we have the Good Witch's favourite lipstick, which is this, just say the colour, High Red. It certainly is. Oh god. And I cannot put this on to save my life. Whenever I wear this for the Good Witch, I couldn't just put it on because it was on my teeth, and when people talk about bleed proof lipstick, this isn't. This was like all over. I actually had to clean the wand off on this, rub it on there and apply that. And that's what we did. So I think somebody asked in the comments, they said, what lipstick is she wearing? Well, she's wearing High Red 059 from Miss Sporty. Very expensive stuff. And High Shine number 7 Whisper. And I kind of just mixed it. And that was what the Good Witch wore. That's why the inside's kind of like a red. Oops. What else? The last one is Urban Decay Lip Junkie Cools and Plumps. I got this free in my Naked 2 palette, if I recall correctly. My white balance is so off, and I know someone will say, can you not white balance? But my camera automatically does it, so I can white balance and then it'll just do its own thing in a couple of minutes. Sorry if I put this here. You can't actually see it. It's more of just like a sheen and a colour. I need to put it on my finger. Not very good at putting it on with an actual thing. Good lord. I think I need to get a new one out. Totally can't hear that, can you? Right. Oh, sticky. Oh well, it certainly stains. Put them back in. In the other side, I'm not going to try and all of it out. We have a plethora of eyeshadow. The first one is Max Factor Smoky Eye Effect, and I bought this really excited to use this, but I found a problem with it pretty early on. Now bear in mind, I don't apply it like that. I apply it like that, or onto my finger, then onto my eye. Okay. Just one. Did that, which isn't what I want from a brand new eyeshadow. It was a bit of a pain in the bum. Another one I've got is Bourjois 3 Regard Rose Eau. Can't be the name of the colour. Yep. Regard Rose Eau. Or what? This is an ombre effect. And it's ombre because it's I'll put a bit on there. See that shimmer? It is pink and gold. And I like it, but I don't really find many occasions to wear it, like pinky gold. I had a dress identical to this. Well, I still have it, I've just got to put it on eBay. It's pink, but it shimmers gold. So I do like it, but it's a bit fancy pants. My next one is Style Queen. this is a white silvery shimmer. Next one, Sky. I wore this to a 70s party with my mum. I had bright blue makeup on. Let's have a look. These are all horrible colours, but I keep them because I think one day I'll need them. Ivy leaf, or camel green, as I would call it. It is like a camel green with a bit of shimmer in it. We have another white one, and this one I bought for Halloween a couple of years ago. I went out as a snow fairy or a winter fairy, and I wanted my face all white, so I used that, and it was actually called Frosting. And if you'll notice, the vast majority of these makeups are all very cheap. Collection 2000, I think that's Superdrug, Natural Collection, they're all like super cheap because it's not proper makeup, it's like plain makeup. Another 17 one I have. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Pink Mallow, which is actually, it's coming out, so I've got to be careful. Kind of looks white on there, but it's not. It's like a pink marshmallow colour. This one I got for free. I obviously don't like it. Truffle. What colour is it? Oh, it's that sparkly brown. Or bronze. And the last one is a bourgeois one. Noir. I like the way these open. And see, that's like an ombre one. The black and green. That is a really good colour. If you ever to go out as like a witch or Maleficent or something, you could wear that. In fact, I think I did. Oh, it's got a mirror as well. Hello. I think I tried this on as the bad witch when I dressed up as her. So I'll put these back in. The only other thing I put in there is a very large pencil sharpener. I think I'm going to go now, and if I can, film a few more little things. My mum has got the biggest collection of like beauty products ever, and they've got some great lid sounds, so if I can, I've got a little pot down there that I'm going to record for a video in the future. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope it gives you lots of tingles, and my voice is going for some reason perfectly timed. I will see you all later.